and Moises.
What
It
is up,
start.
gamers? It is your boy Jay, Games All Day, and today me, Moises, and Jonathan were talking about first person versus third person. Now, we were talking about how SOCOM is fun, but when you want to talk, you need to push a button, which I hate it. But on first person, they're like every first person game is practically the same. They're the exact same thing, just with a different storyline and a different concept. The only first person game that I thought was different was Deus Ex. That game was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway, for those of you who don't know, I I can't remember. I was just paying attention to something else for some reason. SOCOM is a third-person game. You can see your character's whole body the entire time unless you zoom in on the button and aim. To me, I think it's somewhat better than Call of Duty, only because it's just different. Like, you got Breach, Demolition, Team Deathmatch, and all that other stuff.
Right.
And plus, it requires more teamwork than Call of Duty.
Well, I say that the only first person that I think is way better than Call of Duty is probably not way better, but is as fun. Is probably Payday the Heist, because Payday the Heist is very fun. I
Well,
love
I
Payday.
did. I did see a YouTube video of Payday by Uber Hacks or Nova.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
pretty decent.
I love Payday. But the first one was kind of dumb because they didn't have there were only like 6 to 7 missions. But on this one, there's like 20 something. Well, not 20 something. There's a lot. There's
Well,
one
from the
where
videos,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead.
there's one where you need to cook coke, and if you cook the coke
Yes,
wrong,
actually, yeah.
but you are supposed to fail that mission by cooking the coke wrong. Once you finish that mission, you need to steal coke. Then you need to put coke on a boat. Then you need to transfer it to somewhere else. What's up, man? Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like I was saying, that's what happens. Well, I say that the only third person game that, the first one I've ever played was Uncharted. Well, not Uncharted. Let's think about it. The first one I ever played was does Rainbow Six Vegas 2 count as one? Because you can go into first person, and when you're in cover, you're in third person. I guess I don't know, because
I
that
think
was, yeah. Then that's technically my first person and third person game, because that was the first shooting game I ever had. The second one was Halo, but when I was a kid, I would think that Halo was scary because it was
by
scary.
the way, one of the first shooter games that I ever had was a little game that me and my grandma liked to play on, well, the
Oh
grandma
my god!
mom side, was called Minority Report. That was like the best game for me ever,
Really?
and she still has it and it works, and I still love it.
What was the point in it?
Well, Minority Report, it was a third-person game, and you play as this guy. I can't necessarily remember the entire story mode, but I think his team betrays him, or he loses his memory. But in one of the missions, you had to fight against a hover ship. That was like the first time I've seen anything futuristic in a game. And plus, one of my favorite weapons in that game was the puke gun. When
The
you shoot it at
puke
somebody,
gun?
it makes them throw up.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Oh, I just love that game.
I'm getting a Naughty Bear soon.
Yay! Me and Jay are going to show you how awesome this game is. Naughty Bear. You're just basically playing as a bear, but since it's
I
going to
love
be
that game.
multiplayer, he gets to choose to be Sunshine or Giggles.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert on name.
Hey guys, I forgot how I found out how to make my videos not widescreen because while I would edit it, I didn't read it, so I just pushed no. But it would ask me to make the format fit the screen, and when I hit no, it was like widescreen. So now it's going to be full screen. So I'm glad I found that out.
Yay!
Shut up, JJ. Crap.
No!
White people.
So,
Psych.
Moises, what was your first person shooter or first or third person shooter game?
Yeah, Moises.
My first FPS game was when I was 3 years old. It was on the Nintendo 64. I believe it was called. Yes, this goes back a long time. I believe it was called Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
Are
Yes,
you kidding
that's
me?
what it was called.
That game was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
I remember playing that game too, but then when Moises showed me the second one, I didn't know what it was, but then when he showed me the first one, I was like, oh, now I remember. I used to play it, except it
Had a
was...
sequel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Didn't it come out for the
You know what?
and a prequel to it.
console?
My first game ever was probably Mortal
So my
was
first
probably Mortal
FPS
Kombat. But you were saying Moises?
Mine was Donkey
Good
Kong.
choice.
That was my first game.
But you were saying
Yeah,
Moises?
my first FPS was Sword Dinosaur Hunter, and my first third-person game was Super Mario 64.
Well,
Well, that does count as third person.
If you don't love Mario, then you could just, well, Jay, say it for me.
Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys remember? You guys remember an old little game called Pac-Man World, where you play as Pac-Man in third person and he's like 3D and stuff? Well, not necessarily.
That
Like,
was stupid.
Oh, I remember that game. I played that game. Yeah.
that game wasn't.
Mine-
stupid. That game was
My
fun.
mom
Everything.
My mom loved that game. I hated that game because it was so simple and boring. Oh man.
Actually,
I'm not gonna
I
lie,
remember
though. The
yeah.
game's concept was simple, but it was still fun at the same time.
Actually,
Yeah.
actually, Pac-Man World is what I'm talking about. You actually had to save Miss Pac-Man and his dog and stuff. It was just crazy. If you would actually understand the type of Pac-Man that I'm talking about, like, look it up, like, right now on your laptops. Like, look up Pac-Man World 2, and if you're going to be viewing this, look it up, and then you'll see what I am talking about. It is a real good game to me.
Pookie.
You gotta, like, do the story mode to see what I'm talking about, because it's not just, oh, eat pellets, move to next level. No, you have to eat pellets, kill ghosts, bounce, like, jump and stuff, and do all that other stuff. Like, jump on little monsters or whatever, and then go to the next level. It's not just eat pellets, then go. No, it's not like
Right.
that.
Right.
Did you hear that Bethesda
It's
was
not like the
supporting
normal
Nintendo?
boring Pac-Man. What?
Did you hear that Bethesda's not supporting Nintendo?
Why?
This is an
Jay,
excuse.
oh, I am looking at you.
This is an excuse that almost all game publishers give as to why you won't, support the Wii U. The hardware is not usable.
No.
That's what most game publishers' reason is.
Yeah, but
It's kind of funny how the
the
PS3
Wii
and
U.
Xbox 360 is like years old. The PS3 is like 7. Xbox, if I'm not mistaken, is about 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't
But like,
see.
when you think about it, But when you think about it, the Nintendo